I published the first paywall item in Latvia and Delfi, and I see that there is 0 subscriptions today. I remember very well how I just looked at that screen and thought, okay, what we are going to do.
We just tried how to get more money, how to build up our paid content environment. But the first steps, first years, first stories, first successes didn't become immediately. It took quite many years. Independent media is one of the most important institutions in every society.
We are still speaking with the people and telling that it is reasonable and normal to pay for journalism. We are still in this phase. So I believe that Latvia, in one day, we will catch Estonians. We will catch Urmo.
We are waiting when you're catching us.
Welcome everyone. My name is Liga Ozoņa and you are listening Media and Society podcast. These episodes are a platform for in-depth conversations about ways people experience, think and feel about media. Aimed for professionals and media scholars, the podcast explores the diverse relationship between media, journalism and audiences in 2 Baltic states, Latvia and Estonia. Episode 4. Are people willing to pay for journalism? The case of Delfi in Latvia and Estonia. In our previous episodes, we have tried to understand what it's like to be a journalist in either Latvia or Estonia, or what it's like to be an audience member in one of these countries. And in last episode, we talked with audience members and also tackled the question whether they are willing to pay for the content online. And as promised, today we will continue this topic. And we will do that together with Filips Lastovskis, Editor-in-Chief of Latvia and Delfi, and Urmo Soonvald, Editor-in-Chief of Estonian Delfi.
Hello.
Welcome. Pleasure to have you both on this podcast.
Thank you.
So, paywall concept is not new anymore. Delfi in Estonia introduced it earlier than Delfi in Latvia. It took a little bit longer for the Latvia and Delfi to introduce subscription solutions. So, is it correct that Estonia introduced that in 2011 and Latvia and Delfi only in 2020?
Yes, probably Estonia started it already 2010.
Oh, even earlier.
Because the history of Estonian Delfi is a little bit different than the history of Latvian Delfi. In our case, we have Estonian Delfi. Then we launched with daily newspaper Eesti Päevaleht. Then we launched with us weekly newspapers Maaleht and Eesti Ekspress. And then we merged with us 6 magazines. That's why we are a little bit different brands as a Delfi. But yes, we started in 2010. And to be honest, we just tried. I will lie if I can tell you what we were sure already 15 years ago that it will be success. We just tried how to get more money, how to build up our paid content environment. But the first steps, first years, first stories, first successes didn't become immediately. It took quite many years. First years wasn't very easy ones.
So Estonians tried. Was that the story for Latvia and Delfi? Was it a strategy already?
We started in 2019. So this year we celebrated 6-year anniversary. And of course, in the beginning, we didn't know what's going to happen. Will there be some success? Will their subscriber rate will stay 0 or where will we go? But we had some team, we had some strategy, we had some hopes where to go. I remember very well, I published the first paywall item in Latvia and Delfi, and that moment when I have a dashboard in front of me and I see that there is 0 subscriptions today. So, and I have to start somewhere, and then you publish it and then you watch. And in the first day, I remember very well how I just looked at that screen and thought, okay, what we are going to do if nobody is buying this or how it will turn out. But in the end of the day, 6 years have passed and we have more than 30,000 subscribers. So something happened, something good.
And how many subscribers do you have on Estonia and Delfi now?
Yeah, we're a public company and it's not so easy to announce the numbers, but we are in middle of 115,000 and 120,000 subscribers. And I think what's a number, if we're comparing with our population and even with our GDP, we are like maybe number one in the world right now, because the population of Estonia is 1.3 million. And I know what there are many big publishing houses in Scandinavia, when like 200,000 or 300,000. But the population is like 3, 4, 5 times bigger. Yeah, but we are like very happy what we have done so good, but we can see during last year's success is not so progressive as it was many years ago. Each new subscriber is coming with more heart and blood.
But what is the basis for this success story, at least years ago?
I think there's like quite many reasons. Each country is different, each publishing house is different, but the main success is based what we were first in our market who started it. We launched the paid content market in Estonia. It's number one. Number two is what Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Scandinavian countries. News consumption is in our DNA. Even during Soviet times, Estonians read newspapers, Latvian read newspapers, Lithuanian read newspapers, and as well in Scandinavian countries, each family subscribed some kind of newspaper or magazine. It's number two. Number three is very Estonian focused. Estonia, especially northern part of Estonia, we were only like small bridge between Western Europe. During Soviet time, northern people who lived in northern part of Estonia watched Finnish TV. We consumed Finnish news, like Western news, Western shows. It showed us what means real news, real debates, series and so on. And number four, maybe in our case, it's not only Delfi here. As you know, Delfi in Latvia, we have so many different like other brands, newspapers, magazines, streams, podcasts, and we have package. And the most right decision was we have one package. It's called package of Delfi. We are not we didn't make many different packages. Of course, we started like daily newspaper package, weekly newspapers packages, and in like 2018 we launched one package. And with one package you can get everything, even more you can consume. And I think this like 4 things are very important, plus content. I think we are making quite good news. Our content is strong, and people who are living in Estonia cannot be like real members of our society without consuming our news, our entertainment, our podcast, our streams. It's like many different reasons. There is never one main reason. The package of reasons helped us to be so successful.
And what about Latvia and Delfi? So what is subscription offering for Latvian audience?
We are doing something similar right now. The biggest difference, of course, is that behind the Estonian Delfi there is also a publishing house, and so Delfi started in a place without any print press. So we just started to ask people, hey, you didn't pay, and now you will have to pay, and how to convince them, how to explain that journalism is expensive, that nothing just appears in a thin air. It has been a difficult process, but we are growing.
But how much content is behind the paywall in your websites?
In Estonian case, or around 40% of our content is behind the paywall. But mostly the stories which come through the newspapers or magazines, the paywall number is like 80%, 90%. But so-called Delfi, like fast Estonian news, foreign news, sports news, entertainment news, and so on, the average, the paywall is a little bit like around 20-30%. And we can see what optimum is right now, around 40%. There's no point to put it higher. The 40% is okay. But of course, we are playing with it all the time as well. And we are monitoring the data. We are monitoring our page views, how much those people who are subscribed already, how much they are reading, and so on. It's like nowadays journalism is also a little bit a data science as well.
Yeah, that's true. And what about Latvian Delfi?
Around 15%. We also are experimenting about this data, but right now for some quite a time we are around 15. We started at 3%, and at the beginning we just put online exclusive content, premium content that we try to advertise, and it worked in the beginning, but we understand that we are not trying to put a mindset that only exclusive journalism is asked for finance. Journalism not at all. You need some fund, you need some resources to do it. Even if we are speaking about weather news, they are not writing themselves. So like maybe at one point AI will do that, and at some cases in Europe we see that it already happens. But if you want to put journalists' hand to it, then you have to pay a salary also. So this is the process where we are going through.
In our case in Estonia, I'm quite sure that during last 3-5 years, it's not anymore in our society that news should be free and everything. People basically understand why we are asking money, and now it's a question: are they ready to pay or not? But question why you are asking money, I haven't faced kind of questions anymore.
Yeah, you already mentioned that journalists nowadays is very related with data science and data monitoring. Maybe you can share what is the content people are willing to pay. Can you see that in your data?
Of course, yeah. We can see 24/7 what people are reading, from where they are reading, and so on. But when we started with paid content 2016, 17, 18, then we noticed what the crime stories made the market. Top 10, top 20 stories what we produced and which was behind the paywall, the mostly was crime stories. And why it happened? All the brands noticed the crime stories are giving us subscriptions, and everybody focused too much crime stories. And then we made a meeting here what all the brands should focus to the main issues. Of course, crime gave us quite easily subscriptions, but all the brands should focus their own issues. And now, breaking news, original news, streams. We are like owner of the basketball is in Estonia sports number one, and we have rights to produce, to stream Estonian championship of basketball, and as well as Estonian Latvia Basketball League. We have all the rights, and this was one of the most successful investment what we have made, and it have gave us like thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. And of course, crime stories, as I mentioned, war helped us, coronavirus helped us.
In quotation marks, as listeners will not see Urmo's face right now, and hands with the quotation marks with the helping.
Okay, it's of course. Helped, war didn't help us, and coronavirus helped us. When coronavirus started, our first decision was that it's a so important issue, and our story should be without paywall. And we resynced our logic like during 2 or 3 hours, and we put it paywall back. it was 5 years ago, basically. But the different stories which are helping us to get new subscribers, and right now we are working with niches.
I would say that the last 6 years, investigative journalism have been with the most subscribers, but those stories that can generate a lot of new subscribers by investigative stories, they're not very regular. They can happen once per month or twice per month, something like that, that attracts everybody's attention. Also, in a very strong position, history, and also human stories, emotional. People want to see themselves in other people's stories, to feel them, to see empathy there. Sports also. So there are different sectors. We are in different position, as Urmo described, because everybody that is interested in about economy or politics already are subscribers in Estonian Delfi. In Latvian case, we are still explaining that it's okay to subscribe. We are still speaking with the people and telling that it is reasonable and normal to pay for journalism. We are still in this phase. So our topics includes maybe bigger variety that attracts new subscriptions than in Estonia, because Estonians already have their base. We are still fighting for it. Even at this point, as I know, as my information says, that Delfi in Latvia, as a journalism media, we have the most subscriptions in Latvia in all media formats. Non-print press or digital press or a podcast or something that concentrates on journalism as its core product don't have such more than 30,000 base. In Santa Group, in print publishing house, they have one journal with 20,000, around 20, this Ieva, woman lifestyle journal. There is in Russian language, this MK Latvia, they have more than 30, so we are catching them at this point to have some competition. Of course, we are not competing in content, but we would like to be the number one in all languages right now. But in Latvian language, as I know, we are most subscribed journalism media right now.
And in our case, people are reading and subscribing opinion stories. It still works very well. And of course, horoscopes. Unfortunately, it's working. People like to read what the future will bring them. And of course, as Filips mentioned about emotional stories who like wins a cancer and kind of stories. But in our case, what we can see during last year's trend, how to live cheaper, how to pay less taxes, how to get cheaper travel, plane tickets, boat tickets, how to get cheaper car, how to get better bank loans, because people, they don't have time to investigate the banks or like traveling opportunities. And if we are helping people how to live a cheaper life, how to be like cost effective, then those kind of stories are very read and very subscribed in our case.
The same in Latvia. We are not just we. It's the term for this kind of journalism is service journalism, and it's a trend not only in Baltics. We see that in all three Baltic states we see this as a trend, but it's happening all over the Western journalism world.
And in all our discussions, we come to the point where we start to talk about native-speaking audiences and Russian-speaking population. And what can we say about these two parts of population with regards to paywall? Are Russian-speaking population willing to pay for online content equally as native speakers or no?
In Latvian case, there are no difference. Especially because if you look at in this data that a lot of Latvian reading audience also reads Russian version, and a lot of guys who reads Russian reads Latvian. So they are crossing to each other.
In our case, Russians are not so active subscribers, and they are subscribing and then finishing subscription and they are subscribing again. In our case, Estonians are more active, but it means what we have like a bigger market with whom to work is a Russian language audience in Estonia.
Okay, Urmo, you mentioned advertisements. So in your subscription model, do you have advertisements also behind the paywall? Because it's usually a selling point.
Yeah, we have less. Yeah, those people who are subscribers are getting quite much less ads around it. Because yes, it's one of the most strongest selling point. Okay, I'm ready to pay, but I don't want to be in the middle of total ads. And maybe this is one of the reasons why we have been so successful. But of course, still we had for those people as well who are our subscribers.
I guess in the beginning in Latvia and Delfi, there was no advertisements.
In the beginning, yes, we didn't have. As I said, it's also because the different background. We had to convince people to pay, even we didn't have any publishing print offers. There was some period without, and right now there are, but a lot lesser amount than in all portal.
Last year in Festival Lampa, there was a discussion created by Delfi Latvia team, right, about paywalls and paying for content online. And Delfi showed data that 13% of respondents didn't see what might make them pay for content online. So what would be your argument why they should pay for content online?
In the beginning, we also discussed the differences in Estonia and Latvia, and of course, one of the reasons why Estonians are more willing to pay is cultural differences. And starting from the Soviet time, media consumption, what Urmo described, and I believe that Estonians have taken the one thing that Nordic countries have, that they are not paying only for your media product or content. They are paying for civic participation, for public participation. It's their democratic duty to support media press, and they have this feeling at least in bigger amount than in Latvia we have right now. Of course, also in Estonia, there are people who are saying that I don't see a point to pay. They are in every country in the world. But for those 10, 12, 13% in Latvian case, I would say that at first, please, this is your option and the possibility to get more involved, to be more, to take action in your own arms, to follow the best journalism what we can offer, and to use it in your best interest to impact your everyday life, the political landscape, and your children's future. And maybe it don't have to be so serious all the time. Maybe you just want entertainment and you just want to relax in a way that supports you.
Filips gave all the answers. And right now in Estonia we have quite good position. That's why already we have more than 100,000 subscribers plus those friends who are with those packages. It means what already around 200,000 people are reading it. It's a quite big part of Estonians, and it helps to invite new subscribers as well if you want to be a part of those 200,000 people. And our package makes your life easier. You are inside information, inside of entertainment, inside everything what you need for everyday life and for entertainment. And that is our what we are how we are promoting our packages. And but of course, the strong journalism. We can promote and market in many ways, but everything are based on strong journalism. And if we have strong journalism, from entertainment to real news, it's much easier to promote, and everybody's understand as well. But yeah, basically, Filips answered to your question very well.
Okay, but sometimes when I interview audience members, they mention sensationalization and clickbaity headings, and that sometimes these headlines promise more than the content when they open it. How do you try to get this value per money proportion somehow to even out it?
The audience is right. It happened till, I believe, in a similar way in Estonia and in Latvia till some 2014. Starting 2013, 14. Okay, I can speak about Latvia in case Urmo can comment about Estonian experience, but till that time, yes, that was true, that the headlines were with a clickbaiting element together. That doesn't mean that it was all bad journalism, but the part of all content units were with misleading content directions. And starting from 2013, 2014, we have driven away from this. So if there is still some response about that, it probably, and it's memory of feeling how it was. Other option is also that sometimes Latvians, as I said, they follow the content also in a very practical way. They sometimes don't differ the media brand. In social media, I speak especially, then you follow the content. And if you have a bad experience about some clickbaiting page, you think that everybody does the similar as that. And third, maybe we also sometimes make mistakes, and then some audience sees that. We are trying to then correct it, and it definitely is not some part of the Delfi strategy, what we are doing.
We are publishing every day 240, 250 stories. And of course, there is some clickbaits, definitely. And we just launched last week quite big code of ethics. And one of the main issues in code of ethics are headlines. How we are working with headlines. We cannot lie, we cannot irritate too much. It's not matter in which section. And I hope very much but this official code of ethics. Those code of ethics headlines are getting quite big part of it. It helps us to work. But of course we're working in daily basis, but this official book helps us. But still, people remember bad headlines 3-5 years ago, and they are still in their memory.
My last question is about media social responsibility, because sometimes media houses get this, whether it's good or bad comments, that they divide society based on how much content is available. Sometimes those who have resources will get better, more qualified information maybe, and those who are not willing to pay or who can't afford that will get less information and will be less informed, and their decision-making process will be affected. So how can you comment on that?
The grounds of this discussion is manipulative, because if we would take the same idea, that would mean that I could go into the closest shop, find some magazine. For example, I like magazine IR in Latvia. I would find some article what is about cancer survivor, and I would say, okay, I will take this article for free. Sorry, I will take this magazine with me. I will not pay because it's not socially responsible to ask money for this, because journalism is somebody does this. So it is the most important argument here. And also in Latvia, we have public media if the reason is that you can afford it in any case, because it is possible that you can afford those €3 per month. Then you have option of public media. But in most cases, and we also have data for this, people can afford those €3. And in Latvia, it is also growing the tendency that we are paying for many subscriptions. So you should put your agenda in order for what you are paying and how you are taking this information. So if Latvia, as a democratic society, if we need media pluralism, the different media outlets, then it's just reasonable and logical that you have to pay for it.
My answer is smaller. Independent media is one of the most important institutions in every society. Media can be independent if media is profitable. And we cannot be profitable without ads, without paywall, and so on. It means society are stronger and better and more balanced if those media houses who are in our market are profitable, without any special help from the government, municipalities, from the businessmen, from oligarchs. I think what Latvia knows exactly what means during last many 10, 20 years, if there are some oligarchs who are making journalism. It's not journalism. And that's why I think if there are people who are not willing to pay, and if there are people who are telling what we are dividing society, I'm sorry, but the independent and profitable media can be independent, and that's the most important thing.
I think this is a good point to actually finish our conversation. Maybe just the last comment from you, because most probably it goes together with trust. Trust in media, trust in journalism, and trust in different kind of organizations. Do you agree that it is somehow connected with trust issues also from the audience's perspective?
Of course, I could sum up this whole conversation and also this question that the biggest differences between Latvia and Estonia, they are all mentioned in this podcast. There are 4 things in short. One is timing, when to start, when to launch our business model. Second is cultural identity, starting from the technical availability. Political landscape and the impact and influence of oligarchs in Latvia that have been much more in a bigger scale and have damaged and crippled Latvian media landscape. And for this is this technical accessibility of in northern Estonia, that they had access to the Western media. So all 4 those elements differs. And maybe the identity part, if we speak about about the trust could play a little bit bigger role in both of our countries, because Estonians tend to trust more. The trust levels are in different areas in Estonia are in higher level than in Latvia, but not in such a scale that we couldn't catch them. So I believe that Latvia, in one day, we will catch Estonians. We will catch Urmo.
We are waiting when you're catching us, but the trust issue is a very important issue. And I think the trust around mainstream media is destroyed a little bit by the social media, because quite big number of audience don't make any difference. Social media, mainstream media, what it is. And if they're reading some kind of strange stories from social media, and they are thinking what all the media is the same kind of. That's why social media is destroying our business model, our trust, our ad market in many ways. But the trust and strong content, original content, and profitable media houses, it's like one of the corner of every society.
Thank you very much, you both, for this conversation. I think there are many aspects and many issues we could try to talk further and deeper, but most probably we will do in some other discussion or some other episode. So thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting.
This podcast is recorded at Riga Students University Multimedia Studio and is part of a research project making sense of media, a non-media centric and open-ended approach to the study of media-related experiences and perceptions. It is funded by the RSU internal and external consultation project.